What's up guys, it's your boy Alex, and today we got a very fun one. If you have watched some of my previous videos, you know that I usually make fun of Inaros and IGNIS, but that's all about to change today. In this video we will make this dream team overpowered. So now some rules. Helminths are allowed as long as they enhance our weapon. Thermal Sunder or similar abilities are not acceptable. Focus Skulls are allowed. Secondary and melee are allowed for utility only, but no priming. Pets are also fine to use. Here's a little showcase on the highest level Steel Path Corrupted Heavy Gunners from the Simulacrum. As you can see, IGNIS destroys everything insanely fast. And you can do it too. Let's begin. IGNIS is up first. So we have the usual stuff: multi-shot, crit damage, crit chance and some fire rate. Galvanize aptitude for status chance and more base damage. For the element of choice we got corrosive. And we also got extra heat, since it's the base element IGNIS gets. And before you go nuts in the comments, but Alextreme corrosive is not even that good, it's only 80% armor strip. How about you wait for the Warframe build? And also read the patch notes. For the Riven we have multi-shot and crit damage, with a harmless-ish negative. Best stats for a Riven are multi-shot, crit damage, crit chance, fire rate and toxin. Running a faction mod instead of the Riven would do more damage, but honestly, I am done fighting my Riven addiction. I will embrace it instead, even if I'm forced to run trash Rivens. And lastly, we got Primary Merciless for more base damage. Up next, the one and only Inaros. If you don't know Inaros abilities, let's go through them quickly. Passive only works while you are dead, so irrelevant. First ability. You throw the dirt from inside your keyboard, causing permanent blindness to enemies. Second ability. You take the Grenier out for a date, but instead of having a nice meal, you eat them instead. Third ability. You become the Tasmanian Devil. And the fourth ability. You unalive yourself. In-game. Inaros being Inaros, you don't really care about these stats much, but because of our Helminth we got a decent amount of strength. We got triple Umbra for survivability and some strength. Since we don't have a shield on this frame, I decided to use adaptation and rolling guard. You might think running rolling guard is counterintuitive considering we are a face tanking frame, but honestly, without it every time an acolyte spawns, I was scared for my life. I thought I was playing Warframe, not Starfield, what the fuck? We have Negation Swarm, which is the augment for our fourth ability, giving us immunity to status effects. I don't really see players using this mod often, but honestly, permanent status immunity, like, how could you not? Then we have this weird little mod which gives us more enemy radar. Yeah, we are using this purely for enhanced crits on our primary weapon. For the Aura mod, honestly, you can use whatever you want, it just depends if you want to have an Aura form or not. Sprint boost, growing power, physique, totally up to you. And lastly we have Blind Rage. Since this build doesn't care at all about efficiency, this is just free strength. Now the reason why we even want the strength to begin with is our Helminth, Nourish. Alextreme tries to make a build without Nourish or Eclipse Mission impossible. It will allow us to proc extra viral and enhance our damage even further. On top of the extra energy gained, but honestly we don't really require any energy sustain on Inaros. For the Exilus, I would use Prime Surefooted, but as you can see I kinda CBA'd to Forma anymore, so there's that. For the Arcanes, we have Arcane Grace. With this we are unkillable on the base Steel Path. The health regen will out-heal 99% of the damage enemies can do to you. The 1% is, yeah, you guessed it, Acolytes. You will need to be careful around them still. Alternative options are Arcane Guardian for more armor or Arcane Blessing for more HP. Further alternative options will be shown later on in the video that don't include Arcanes. For the second Arcane we got Arcane Avenger. This will put our IGNIS to orange crit range and make our damage incredible. Alternative would be Arcane Acceleration. If you do this you could change the IGNIS build and add more damage instead of fire rate. For the Operator Arcanes, there is only one thing that matters, and that is Magus Lockdown. This is used for Acolytes and will basically stun them while you fill their mouth with flames. And finally, the thing that breaks this build. 2 green shards for increased corrosive max stacks. Our Ignis build has really good status chance, multi-shot and fire rate. This is why with the power of green shards, we will be able to armor strip groups of enemies under 1 second. And with the help of heat procs, we will be able to melt enemies of any level. Rest of the shards is up to you. If you don't have Arcane Grace, you could do some health regen shards. Those are the ones that were interesting to me. As mentioned before, we won't use our secondary, but we will have it for passive gains. Amalgam Barrel Diffusion to increase our roll dodge speed. And Priodos, as you probably know, is a very good utility melee since we got more parkour velocity, speed, slide and heavy attack wind-up speed. The mods are completely irrelevant unless, again, you don't have Arcane Grace, you could use it to heal yourself with Life Strike. This is why I just modded it for full attack speed so we can do heavy attacks in a fraction of a second. You will literally heal to full HP from like 1 with just 1 heavy attack. I haven't yet even fully tested the new melee arcanes, but melee animosity seem to synergize with the thing we are doing here, giving us extra crit on heavy attacks. You have full freedom of what school you want to run. I usually run Vazarin for protective sling for extra safety. It is also a decent support skill if you are playing in a squad. The pet we have is Nautilus, one of the best pets after the companion rework. First off, we got the most common mods like Vacuum, Primed Animal Instinct and Primed Regen. You should be running these on every companion pretty much. Again, if you don't have the primed version of mods, it's not gonna break your build, you'll be just fine running normal versions. Then we have the 4 bonds. Tenacious Bond, giving us more crit damage. Reinforced Bond, giving us more fire rate if our companion shield is over 1.2k. To have this effect more often, we got Calculated Redirection. Duplex Bond basically giving us extra tankiness since the clones will take fire instead of us. And lastly, Manifold Bond, which will reduce our companion ability cooldown the faster we are taking care of enemies. You need at least 3 unique status effects on your gun for this to work. If you remember, we have Corrosive, Viral and Heat on our Ignis, so that's taken care of. But now, what is our companion ability? Cordon. With this the enemies will be stacked very nicely almost all the time. Now for the weapon, we have Wool Clock. If it's your first time seeing a build like this, it will look weird, but I promise you it's all you need. Critical delay is here for Tenacious Bond. We need to have over 50% crit on our Sentinel weapons, so we easily achieve this. And then we have 4 Vigilante mods giving us even more crit chance on our primary weapon. Now that's a lot of setting up for just Inaros and IGNIS WRAITH, don't you think? Let me show you how the build works. Start the mission off by charging your Fort ability for extra armor and immunity to status effects. You will not be recasting this unless you are really desperate for a quick heal, but try to keep the buff at 100% for maximum efficiency. Our first ability does blind the enemies, so it can be used if you are swarmed by enemies and are feeling vulnerable. It also gives a somewhat negligible heal, but it's a heal still. The second ability I honestly don't really use. I guess you could use it for a temporary invulnerability, but you are stuck in animation while doing it, so... Third ability is our Subzoom. You want to keep Nourish up at all times. I also forgot to mention earlier that Nourish actually provides pretty good crowd control with the viral pulses. If you are actually wondering if this is Steel Path or not, you can see the level right there. It is. Just look how powerful this truly is. Literally erasing enemies off the screen. Did you ever believe that Ignis could be so overpowered? Well, neither did I. Don't do too much damage, lil bro. Honestly, I expected to struggle even at base Steel Path, considering this is an effortless zero setup build. But look at us. Face tanking, holding left click and clearing everything with ease. Truly remarkable. Thanks, D. Please don't nerve green shards, I will be very sad. I was expecting more of a meme video, but honestly this build turned out actually pretty good. It's just the proof that everything can work in this game as long as you put enough effort with the build. I hope you guys enjoyed this wild adventure. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more, and most importantly, take care. I will catch you in the next one.